WYLN Studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, February 3rd, 2016. I'm Ann Gownley. The suspect in a Hazleton shooting is in custody. 24-year-old Jonah Castello Rodriguez was taken into custody around 7 o'clock last night. He was arraigned last night, charged with reckless endangerment and aggravated assault. The victim still has not been identified, but city police say he's a 24-year-old Hazleton resident who suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Police Chief Jerry Spizal said he's in serious condition. He also says no specifics as to the location of the injured man are being given for security reasons. The shooting happened on North Wyoming Street between Diamond Avenue and the post office around Arbutus Street. Police later searched Castello Rodriguez's home near 10th and Locust Street on the northwest side. He wasn't home, though police took 2 people into custody, though they were later released. At this point, no details on a motive have been released. Anyone with information is asked to call police in Hazleton at 570-459-4940. Well, it was a heated meeting last night in Hazleton. Council's first meeting for February lasted almost 3 hours. WYLN's Gary Perna was there last night and has a recap of that meeting.
Hazleton City Council voted to hike the earned income tax rate for hiring 2 full-time cops for the city. A far cry from the 6 that Mayor Jeff Cassat and Chief Jerry Spazial were looking for. Emotions ran high Tuesday evening, even before council even took any action. Public comment went on for about 1 hour before council even got to the agenda.
The small increases in taxes that our mayor is asking for, 75 cents a month and 25 cents per $100 earned, isn't going to hurt anybody. And they will avoid huge increases in the future. Those huge increases will be hard to explain in future elections. We have to get more police more policemen and women on the streets of Hazleton now.
We've gotten to the point where we're at our last straw of our ability to have a safe and secure community. In 2009, I served in Iraq, where I was wounded. When I came back, I actually felt safer being in a war zone than in the community to which I lived.
And it has to be done now. It has to be done now before things get worse, before more killing and more things are happening. We were a small city. Now we are a city growing with big city problems that need to be taken care of at this moment. I am here as a mother asking all of you to think as parents.
If the ordinance is approved later in February on the last reading, the additional revenue would cover the cost of hiring at least 2 full-time police officers. The second ordinance that would have increased property taxes by 2% would have raised more money for even more cops, but that died on the floor and no council member even brought it up for a vote. Now, legal questions clouded the EIT increase, with council members questioning whether or not the city can legally levy tax for the purpose of paying for new police officers. City Solicitor Sean Longston agreed to research the issue before council voted for the final time on the reading later this month.
We're at 1% already. We give 0.5% to the school district. We keep 0.5%, but that's what's allowed. They're giving a different story through the administration right now and playing with some numbers. If I get a legal opinion from 3 groups that tell me that that's okay, I'll vote in favor of it and put more police on the street. If I don't get that, I will not approve the second and third reading there because I'm not going to commit an illegal act.
Sosar, along with Council Vice President Gene Mope, voted in agreement of the EIT tax increase ordinance on the first reading, pending the solicitor's report back to Council with an opinion from DCED, Pell, and the Pennsylvania Local Government Commission about EIT taxing. At times, council chambers became very loud and unruly, with audience members who were in favor of council raising taxes for police screaming and yelling out at city council, saying police lives matters, and they put their lives on the line to save everyone. Seltzer also called for police to make concessions in their contract, which triggered a shouting match between Union President Jason Zola and Seltzer. In the end, whether the city could raise the EIT tax is still up in the air until the solicitor comes back with a legal opinion. In Hazleton, for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. And again, WYLN taped the entire meeting and will rebroadcast it at 6 p.m. tonight following Evening Edition. The Blakesley Inn and Restaurant in Monroe County went up in flames Wednesday morning. Heavy smoke and flames could be seen pouring from the property in Tobyhanna Township near Blakesley. The fire was called in around 8:30 Wednesday morning, and 15 different fire departments from several surrounding counties continued to battle the blaze. Fortunately, no one was staying in the inn at the time of the fire, and no injuries were reported. Heavy winds and rain made it a challenge for firefighters to battle that blaze. Route 940 in the area of Tobyhanna Township was shut down. An expert witness took the stand today in the murder trial of Jessica Alinsky. Trooper John Corrigan, who is a state police forensics expert, stated that the level of manipulation at the crime scene was unlike anything that he'd ever seen before. Corrigan arrived at Alinsky's home on September 3rd of 2011 to investigate the possible suicide of her boyfriend Matthew Ryan Galley. There, he found that Glay's body had been moved several times. He also testified that nothing at the scene was consistent with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He also stated that it appeared that someone tried to clean up the blood on the body. Bloody footprints of a woman walking to the bathroom were also discovered when police used a special dye. Testimony is still continuing in that Alinsky murder trial. A woman wanted by the United States Marshals was arrested at the Keystone Job Corps. Simeon Starling allegedly assaulted a 17-year-old juvenile victim. The victim told police that she was sleeping, and Starling ripped her off her covers and told her to get up because she was going to fight. Starling began to punch her in the face while the victim's roommate attempted to pull Starling off of her. The juvenile was treated at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Police found that Starling was wanted for an armed robbery in Washington, D.C. She was taken into custody and charged with simple assault and harassment. She was arraigned before Magisterial District Judge Daniel O'Donnell and taken to the Luzerne County Prison for lack of $50,000 straight cash bail. A Philadelphia man was arrested after being spotted conducting a drug transaction in a department store at the Wyoming Valley Mall. Richard Myers was arrested by Wilkes-Barre Township Police Special Investigations Unit. Meyer was found in possession of 30 packets of heroin and $175 in cash. He was arraigned and taken to the Luzerne County Prison for lack of $15,000 bail. On Monday, a fourth Shenandoah man admitted that he participated in a heroin trafficking ring for almost 4 years in Schuylkill County. 27-year-old Nikolai Varga pled guilty to conspiracy to distribute more than 100 grams of heroin. Varga was indicted on September 8th of last year as a result of an investigation by the FBI, state, and local police. His 3 co-defendants also pled guilty to participating in the conspiracy and are awaiting sentencing. 4 other co-defendants are awaiting trial. Varga faces a mandatory 5-year minimum prison sentence and a maximum of 40 years. He is scheduled to be sentenced on April 28th in Scranton. The idea of split schedules for former Coughlin students is not popular. Around 200 parents delivered that message to the Wilkes-Barre Area School Board in a meeting at Solomon Plains Elementary last night. The board has voted to consolidate Myers and Coughlin high schools into a new building on the Coughlin site, but needs a place for the Coughlin students in the meantime. 9th and 10th grades are already attending classes at the renovated Mackin School building. There are 3 options are on the table for the other 2 grades: buy modular classrooms, implement a split schedule, or buy or lease a building near Coughlin, with the former Times Leader building on North Main Street getting most of that attention. No one supported a split schedule. Among the concerns are less class time through split schedules and the fact that it would play havoc with extracurricular activities. The board will make a decision at its next meeting on Monday. Time now for a first look at our forecast. A rainy and chilly day here in northeastern Pennsylvania, but will we see that sunshine over the next several days? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is in the Weather Center with all the details. Joe?
Right, we're going to go back to you. Hey, can you hear me now? Hey, all you got to do is look at the cameras behind me and you know for yourself, things not bad for this time of year. You don't see the snow on the ground, so that means we had the warmer temperatures. You see the traffic moving along, so that also means, hey, the weather outside is pretty nice and not frightful. All right, on to the next graphic, and you can clearly see that. Boy, one heck of a system coming through. We had the rain. Some of it was heavy at times. We're starting to see some clearing out in western PA, out through Wisconsin and Michigan. Actually, some snow and a mixture of precipitation, but too warm for that now. We got temperatures in the 40s, 50s. Philly, 64 degrees. Impressive for this time of year. Closer to home, temperatures still remaining in the 50s. We got some colder weather to talk about, and what about a storm for next week? Will it happen? I'll let you know in just a few, Ann.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, we'll head down to Shenandoah, where students and faculty at Trinity Academy are celebrating Catholic Schools Week. Plus, how students at Valley Elementary Middle School were learning about agriculture with a mobile lab. Stay tuned. More news is headed your way here on WYLN.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, weather with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, and sports with Eric DeBerardinis.
Grand Central helps make your place the place where comfort is king and style rules the day. The place where dinner time is family time and bedtime is beautiful. Right now on all furniture and bedding, the price on the floor is the price to your door. No tax, no delivery, no inflated prices, no kidding. Plus up to 36 months interest-free financing. Grand Central, helping make your place home.
Combined Insurance makes it easy to protect you and your loved ones by paying cash directly to you when you need it most. Whether you're looking for accident and sickness, disability, or life coverage, Combined Insurance has a policy to meet your needs and fit your budget. Call John Ravello, 570-499-0504 for an appointment to help determine the best coverage for you. That's John Ravello, 570-499-0504.
It's National Catholic Schools Week, and WYLN stopped by a local elementary middle school in Shenandoah where students and faculty were continuing their week-long celebration. National Catholic Schools Week is being celebrated in Catholic schools across the country. The theme for this year is Catholic Schools, Communities of Faith, Knowledge, and Service. At Trinity Academy in Shenandoah, Advancement Director Christine Fanek said the school is celebrating all this week with special events for all 208 students.
One of our events today is praying the Patriotic Rosary, and where else can you pray the Rosary for our great nation other than in a Catholic school? This was an idea from our fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Dando, and her assistant, Sister Theas, and they felt that since the theme this week for Catholic Schools Week today is specifically about in our nation, the Patriotic Rosary fit perfectly with the theme.
All this week, students focus on the value that Catholic education provides to the people and its contributions to the church, community, and our nation. 8th grader Sarah Haluppa explains what students at Trinity are doing this week to celebrate.
Monday we had breakfast with a buddy where you could bring anyone you wanted to have breakfast with. Yesterday we had Goodbye On My Winter Day for Groundhog Day to show how we want spring instead of winter. And today we have our Patriotic Day.
A lot of preparations went into this week's festivities, and many of the older students helped plan the events with faculty members.
Well, we put time in yesterday and early today to get ready for this procession that we're going to put on for the Rosary. Different states are going to be represented in 5 groups, and 5 readers are going to read, and 10 per group, and they're going to offer up a Hail Mary for each of the states.
The students even had the opportunity to get involved in those events.
Well, holding up the state is pretty cool because It lets me know that I'm praying for a state, and somebody who is related to me may be in Texas. And all the other classmates in my class who are holding up a state, it's really cool because maybe other people in my family are there too, and I would like to pray for them too.
For more information on Trinity Academy, you may log on to trinitymatters.com. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is back with a full look at our forecast. Plus, a look at how students were learning about their surroundings today thanks to a mobile agricultural education science lab. That and much more, including sports, is headed your way only on WYLN.
Hi, I'm Donna Palermo, Secretary of Palermo Heart to Heart. We are now recruiting businesses, nonprofits, and individuals who carry beads of courage to encourage children or teens who have cancer or who are coping with other serious chronic illnesses to participate in the program. Inside each Carry a Bead kit is a matched bead set. Every time you carry a bead, you connect with the child. You keep and collect the other bead as a symbol of your commitment to care. If you or your business would like to participate in Beads of Courage, please visit our website listed on the screen.
Hello, I'm Ann Gownley from WYLN TV. Please join us this year as the Hazleton unit of the American Cancer Society presents the 38th annual telethon On the Road to Wellness. The telethon will be held Saturday, February 27th at our new home, the Health and Wellness Center at Hazleton. WYLN will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Join us for a day filled with great entertainment. The telethon is made possible by these sponsors.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
Still kind of gloomy and overcast outside. Got some areas of fog to contend with. We'll have to deal with that as we head into this evening. And we did have some of that rain around earlier. Some of it was heavy at times. Again, it's moving away from our area onto the graphic for today. And you'll be able to see for yourself that, yeah, we did have that rain. And some of it was heavy across our area as it moved through. But at least we were dealing with some very mild temperatures. And those mild temperatures still will stick around for another day before we deal with some colder air that's going to move back into our area. Live 35 Skycast Doppler still got some leftover rain over our southern parts of our viewing area, say through the Shenandoah area, down through Lehighton and points further south and east. Still very warm, mild this time of year. 49 degrees are live Lehigh tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton. And notice we picked up now 86/100ths of an inch of precipitation since midnight. 51 in Mount Pocono, 56 now, Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, 61 in Pittsburgh, and 55 degrees in Philadelphia. Mid to upper 50s in the Wyoming Valley area, a little bit breezy. You see the heavier rain that moved through our area now. Again, it's exiting, making its way away from the state of Pennsylvania. You're starting to see some clearing from west to east. It's going to bring in some colder air, although tomorrow it's still going to stay relatively mild. But then after that, it's going to get much colder across our area. So tonight, generally, we're only going to be dropping down into the 40s, upper 30s. That's about it. Tomorrow, in the 40s, colder heading into tomorrow night. Notice we actually start dropping down into the 20s for overnight low temperatures. So some cooler air and eventually some colder air is going to start to make its way into our area before all is said and done. And as we go into next week, say Tuesday and Wednesday, still watching a storm system to see if it's going to impact our area. At this point in time, just got some snow showers in our forecast as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, but we all know things can change quite rapidly. Extended forecast looking like this, and what we can expect over the next couple of days. 42 for tomorrow, so it's still mild with temperatures above average. Not looking too bad as we go into our Friday. The weekend looking dry in the 30s.
And then we'll see what happens as we start going into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Our daytime Pennsylvania lottery numbers to pick 225, to pick 3300, and to pick 4 1354. Pick 5 numbers looking like this: 14642, and the treasure hunt numbers 2, 6, 14, 16, and 18. We'll have more for you coming up after these commercial messages.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill, and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. We are going to meet 2 very special patients of Dr. Stacy. You'll meet Gianna and Patty, and you're going to hear about how this little girl has been receiving chiropractic care with great results most of her life. Her story and her mom's story this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Students at one local elementary school learned about fun farm facts from an interactive mobile classroom. Our Julie Stefanovich has more on this story.
Today, 6th grade students at Valley Elementary and Middle School had the chance to take part in an important and exciting learning adventure. A mobile agriculture lab made its way up from Harrisburg. It is sponsored by the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. The program has been around for the last 12 years and has 22 teachers and 6 labs which service the whole state. We spoke with mobile lab science teacher Jane Wessner.
We have seen that agricultural land has been developed in many situations, so we want to help the general public understand how important it is that we save this land because it provides us with every single thing we need every day.
Today's topic was bug out. The students learned about insects and their environmental impact on farm crops.
Well, they were very excited to get started, and they know of this lab from previous years, so I believe that they look forward to it each year, and each year they get to do a different lesson, and it's all different types of lessons that they would have an opportunity to do.
6th graders Madison Pavlovsky and Nathan Hauser told us about their experience with the mobile lab.
We learned about how plants need certain insects and that there are beneficial insects that we should not harm those insects, like ladybugs and Maine prantis, we should not harm those.
It's really important because sometimes the teachers don't get to teach us as much as this as we can, but they teach us as much as they can. But I think it's really nice how we get to learn about more different topics.
For more information on this interactive learning program, you can visit pfb.com. In drums for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up next, Eric DeBaradinas is in with sports here on WYLN. Stay tuned.
WYLN TV 35 has strong ties to the community, as evident in its commitment to important causes like the American Cancer Society and Helping Hand Society telethons. WYLN's commitment to northeastern Pennsylvania continues with a broadcast of Hazelton's Fun Fest Parade and both the Christmas and St. Patrick's Day parades in Wilkes-Barre. In the summer, we broadcast the Weatherly and Giants of Spare Hill Flag, and throughout the year, we provide important community services through the broadcast of town meetings, school board meetings, election night coverage, and other events. WYLN, we're your local network.
WYLN is proud to announce a huge technical upgrade to our channels that will bring a better digital picture and expanded coverage area to viewers all over northeastern and central Pennsylvania. In addition to Channel 35.1 in Hazelton, you can watch a crystal clear picture in Berwick and Columbia County on Channel 47.1 and in East Stroudsburg on Channel 24.1. And we're proud to announce Pennsylvania's newest TV station, Channel 9.1 in Williamsport, serving Lycoming, Montour, Northumberland, and Union counties. Now more than ever, WYLN is your local network.
The first Wednesday in February has become a day that countless high school athletes are able to realize their dreams by inking letters of intent to continue their careers in college. That was the case on National Signing Day and for several Lehighton area students. Wyatt Clements, our Anthracite League Player of the Year, signed to play football for Division II East Stroudsburg University after a long recruitment process.
I can definitely tell you the least favorite part of it was arguing with my parents about where I wanted to visit and where I should apply to. That was definitely the most stressful part about it, but I feel like the best part about it was when you finally made a decision and everything, all the weight was lifted off your shoulders. That's probably the best part about this whole process.
One of Clements' football and wrestling teammates, Connor Fry, decided months ago that he will wrestle for Old Dominion, but made it official today.
Coach over Daddy. I committed back in July, so I went through a lot more emotions back then, finally getting over with and picking out my future for the next 5 years. So it's good to kind of like finish up the process today. So I'm all set up to start the next chapter of my life after wrestling season's over.
Penn State football with a big day, hauling in the third best recruiting class in the Big Ten, with outlets ranking the Nittany Lions anywhere from 17 to 24 nationally. We'll have a further breakdown of the class tonight on Late Edition Sports. Lots of rankings being tossed around today, and we'll continue that with our weekly high school basketball power rankings. On the boys' side, Shenandoah Valley just outside of the top 7. Myers, one of just 2 teams that remains unbeaten in Wyoming Valley Conference play. Blue Mountain would be undefeated in the Schuylkill League if they didn't have to play Pottsville, but they do. Nanticoke at 5. Crestwood played Hazleton really tough last night. The Comets, number 4. Minersville steady without a blemish in the loss column in the Schuylkill League and steady at number 8 in the statewide rankings. Really tempted to move Hazleton to the top spot after that gritty victory over Crestwood on Tuesday, but ultimately it's Pottsville remaining atop the list, just 1 game away from another undefeated regular season. On the girls' side, Pittston on the outside looking in as Marion re-enters. On Monday, Holy Redeemer head coach Chris Parker picked up his 100th career win with the Lady Royals as that powerhouse keeps rolling without Alexis Lewis. Pottsville edged Blue Mountain in the team's most recent game, so they get the edge at number 4. Nanticoke and Hazleton, beasts of the Wyoming Valley Conference, they keep cruising, and so does Minersville at number 1. Another school poised for an unbeaten campaign. Stay tuned. Coming up, Joe Garbacik is in with a final look at the forecast.
At Whitetail Preserve, they pride themselves with giving their guests 5-star service. They are now open for lunch 6 days a week and offer limited delivery service for lunch to businesses in Cunningham, Valmont, and Humboldt Industrial Park. Call them at 570-384-2314.
Attention area residents. Show your support for local student athletes. Attend a live sporting event in your area. WILN, we're your local network.
Hi, I'm Joe Garbacik from WILN TV. Please join us this year as the Hazleton unit of the American Cancer Society presents the 38th annual telethon On the Road to Wellness. The telethon will be held Saturday, February 27th at our new home, the Health and Wellness Center at Hazleton. WILN will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Join us for a day filled with great entertainment. The telethon is made possible by these sponsors. Well, we got the rain moving away from our area. Behind it, we got some clearing out. We also have some colder weather to talk about, although tomorrow ain't going to be too bad. Temperatures will still be above average, but after that, we're going to be looking at temperatures on a downswing once again as we start going into the rest of the week and the weekend and next week. Extended forecast looking like this. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler, but still pretty nice. For this time of year, we can't complain. Above average, 42 degrees, and then only in the 30s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hey, it's looking pretty good even early next weekend. We'll see what happens as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday of our new work week. But notice those temperatures, 20s and 30s. So when there's a storm out there, when temperatures that low, you know what that might mean. For now, we keep it snow showers in the forecast.
What might that mean?
Snow.
You just have to lay it all out there.
Yeah, of course.
He just kind of went, you know what that means. No, we didn't. That's why.
I'll clarify.
But I just want to say thank you to the Bloomsburg Area School District. They had some kids stop by today. They wanted to learn about us here at WYLN and the whole process, and they were so involved. They loved every second of it, and I know that they had such a good time. So we want to say thank you and come back anytime for another tour. Have a good one, everyone.